Hello everyone, hope you're well, smelling great, enjoying your favourite fragrances today. And this is what we've got. It is Labdanum 18 from the house of Labo. Hello again everyone, and yeah, we've got this today from the house of Labo. It is Labdanum 18. It is blind buy. I don't know anything about this. I was just browsing and this come up, and it come up at a really reasonable price. Get into it if we can. Bear with me a minute. The sticker's gone over the thing. Right, we're in. So this is it. Little card there, asking me to enjoy. Hope to enjoy it. Some information. I don't know anything about this house actually, so I'm quite looking forward to trying it. I've heard of it obviously, and I've heard of a cop off. I'm not sure if it's another 13 or Santal 13. Oh, this is it. That's it, just thrown in there. So I don't know if that's normal. That's the juice there, and it's a 50ml, and I paid 49 English for that. Not sure if I was in a bid. I was in a bid with this one, and it started really low, and whoever it was, they backed out at 49. So again, it's a blind buy. I don't know if it is, I don't know anything about this fragrance. I've heard of Labdanum. They put that in quite a lot. I'm not sure if I tried any of these. I think I might have tried one or two at airport. This retails, that's €209 on their website for that. So to get it at the price that I won the bid on, it's probably a pretty good deal. Let's have a look then. It's saying that this fragrance is an enigma. It simply doesn't conform to any of the laws of perfumery. A strong concentration of amber and musky notes. It remains a perfume that's discreet on your skin, even though everything's combined to make it a power bomb. Listen to it whisper to your nose and to the senses of those allowed to get close to your skin. Once you start, you won't be able to stop listening. Wow. Speaks then. Yeah, this is it. Let's get it on. Doesn't give a note breakdown. I can smell something there, though this was totally sealed. Right, let's get it on. Okay. I'm not going to put more than that on. Yeah. I'm trying to sort of gather my thoughts for this. It's likable. It's puzzling me, this. I'm trying to make out what it is. Wow, that's quite right interesting, that is. Oh, there's something really, it's reminiscent of something, and for the life of me, I get this all the time. I'm just not able to recollect what this is. So this is lovely. It doesn't give like a note breakdown on here. Yeah, this is interesting. It's almost, as I said, I know nothing about this. However, it sort of come out the traps there like almost like a fougere in a way, and then turn very quickly floral. I don't think it is out of either of those. The perfume is Maurice Roucel, compounded in our lab. I quite like that label actually. It's really basic, like it's just a formulation of something that you would knock up in a lab. Like test subject or something. The main accords of this are musky, amber, woody, vanilla, leather, aromatic, powdery, smoky, balsamic, warm, spicy. So musky and amber and woody are the top accords in this. It does show notes on this, and the notes are French Labdanum, vanilla, Civetta, musk, Castoreum, Resins, Tonka bean, Gurjan, Balsam, Birch, Patchouli and cinnamon. This is really odd. It said there it was an enigma. And I can sort of understand that. It is quite a puzzling scent. It wants to say stuff and it wants to let you know it's there, but then on the other end it's like withholding something. Though it feels really, really well blended quality. There's a lot in this cloud. Is it a beast? I can imagine this being having some projection on it. So it's quite an old fragrance, 2006. Not ventured into Labo at all, so this is my first entry into the house. Lagging right behind on that, though. This is just the first opportunity along the fragrance adventure to discover it. What can you say to that price? That's a steal. Absolute steal for this, for the sense of quality I'm feeling off this, and how it's like how it's emanating from me. I think this is one of the deals of the year so far. The longer this is on me now, the stronger it's feeling. It's almost like the air has activated it to become like quite a bit of a beast today. We've got some pros and cons for this, so let's have a little look through them. I'll just say with this, I feel this is a really refined, well dressed up affair. For me, this wouldn't be a casual wear. It'd be a pleasure each time I wear it. I'm feeling that. It almost feels like one of those fragrances of discovery. When you're wearing it, you're discovering it, and it has a little vibe. I'm not saying it smells like it, but there's a vibe of Ego East in this. And I don't know what that is, but I'm getting little hints that are reminiscent of Ego East. Chanel, Ego East. Okay, let's go into cons. That's interesting. Can evoke nostalgic feelings of old-fashioned perfumes. And yes, Ego East is well, it's not old, but it's not a new fragrance. But this, as mentioned when it first came out, it did have like a little fougere vibe, barbershop style. Animalic facet may not appeal to everyone. Yeah, I can understand that. I imagine this is probably going to go dry, powdery. I just sense that's where it will go, off my skin anyway, just through having similar things to this, like how they've gone. It's an interesting note, animalic. It really is. It can be really ultra definable, and then on the other hand it can be pheromonal and hidden and discreet. So anything in between those extremes, it's probably up there with one of my favourite notes. Actually, there's a few, and I think because there's so much variation in between those extremes, I don't know, it sort of works on another level. It works on that pheromonal level. Some smells and aromas you detect straight away, whereas with the animalic, like musky note, I think they work on the olfactory system in a different way. It's almost like I'm trying to think of the word, but like they almost work on a psychic level, because they're sort of undetectable, but you detect them, if that makes sense. It's like a thought. Yeah, anyway, we sidetrack. Right, opening notes can be off-putting for some. Possibly. It did, and it does have a little fougere style. It's not classed as that, it's classed as oriental. Well, that's what they're calling it, oriental fragrance here. May not work well on certain skin chemistry. That's interesting. I feel this will work well. I can feel it activating on my skin. I don't doubt that. And this feels like I'm going to get quite a bit of longevity out of it. Maybe incorrect with that. That's what I'm suspecting with this. Might be perceived as too masculine or too powdery. Listening to that, I mentioned earlier the powderiness. I've got a vibe. This is going to go powdery on me, which I love. A well done powdery fragrance. Definitely masculineness. This is such an interesting fragrance. Powdery scent can be overwhelming. Well, this is quite strong and overwhelming. It's like, I really didn't expect that. When I saw this, I was anticipating this would be a really weak smell. I wasn't getting good vibes about trying it. I thought it was going to be a bit meh, and it just shows how incorrect one can be with their assumptions. Judging a book by its cover, standard grey cardboard box. Yeah, I mean, really basic. Like, packaging, lab style bottle. I just thought, yeah, this is just going to spray it on, undetectable, nothing exciting. And I think it's completely the opposite. It's really, really captivated me. Not similar to both Musk Ravenger and Shalimar at the same time. Linear scent that doesn't much evolve. There's a lot in the opening. Now, whether or not this dries down to something linear, there was quite a few things going off in the opening. Possibly this might dry down to something linear, and then it becomes that like musky, powdery, pheromonal sort of single scent. Possibly, yeah. Again, this is just first wear experience. Interest combination of animalic notes, and this is what I sort of picked up at the beginning. There was quite a bit going off animalic, quite a bit going off masculine. Beautifully blended, musky and sexy. Definitely. I don't know if this would be a first date night. I don't know if this would garner many compliments. I don't know actually. I mean, it's hard. I get different smells each and every inhale. It's coming back with a different frequency. Good alternative to Musk Ravenger. That's interesting. Now, when it's saying alternative there, in what sense? Because this and Musk Ravenger, by the looks of it, they're very similar price. This is €205 and for 50ml. And Musk Ravenger is probably about, you could get it on the discounter for 130 English. So for 50ml, so about €170. When you're seeing an alternative, not in price, that's potent, that is. Yeah, it's saying a complex fragrance with a variety of facets, and that's what I'm getting off this. Picking up different things. Not many people agreed with that linear scent when it said it doesn't evolve much. Straightforward amber scent. Now that gets a lot of thumbs up. Now for me, for the ambers I have in my collection, this didn't even identify itself to me and my senses as an amber. It's not something I'd have smelled and gone, oh, here's another amber fragrance. Many people are agreeing with that. Similar to Shalimar, but with different notes. So that it's not similar, actually. Well, yeah, I suppose it could be, yeah. Soft and feminine scent. And that's a pro. This is feminine. I mean, anyone can wear any fragrance, absolutely, though. No, this airs much more masculine. So longevity, it's like long lasting, moderate, quite a bit eternal. Sillage, moderate, strong, and quite a bit saying enormous as well. So I imagine that's probably down to skin chemistry as well. With it being like musky, pheromonal, animalic, that may not be like beast mode, however still detectable. It's coming back as unisex, and then it goes more female, coming in as overpriced and way overpriced. €209 for 50ml, so you're probably looking about 175 English, depending on the exchange rate. Is that worth it? The thing with this is it does feel like quality. It really does. If it was a case of buying at retail, it's too early to say if I pay full retail. It absolutely oozes quality. I'm just trying to compute in my mind, if I had the money to buy this at full retail, would I buy this or would I buy something else at full retail? There's a lot of comparison here to Musk Ravenger. I mean, that's not giving anything away, this label. So if I was to buy Musk Ravenger or this at full retail, I'd have probably gone for Musk Ravenger just because of like the hearsay and the understanding I have of the perfumer and that house. I'm much more aware of them in that house that I'd have gone for that rather than this. This probably wouldn't have even come on my radar, if I'm honest. Something called Labdanum 18. It wouldn't. And I've not heard anyone talk about this or hype it at all. So let's have a look at some comments. I bet a Tonka 25. Baby powder is real. Straight in with a baby powder. Very beautiful sweetness and powderiness. And I can't sense the animalic notes at all, which is unusual since I'm usually very sensitive to Castoreum. I guess that the concentrations are low. I like it very much. I have to retest it. It might be concentrations. It might just be, yeah, like back to that being on a pheromonal level. This is straight up poop on my skin, way more than Musk Ravager. Had to scrub it off. Yeah, there's nothing animalic about it to me whatsoever. The Tonka bean and Labdanum are prominent for me, and it's very resinous. It's my favourite perfume of all time, to be honest. Okay, well, definitely not suitable for work, a little offensive to my nostrils in the best way, though. Way more animalic and musky and powdery. The Labdanum is like a strong top note, in my opinion, as well as a very sweet vanilla. It dries down super animalic and indolic, and then eventually just super powdery. Very interesting journey over a few hours, very skillfully made. Creates a strong fragrance bubble. I can smell it on myself almost constantly. Do you know what that person shared there was just what I was thinking around this at the start, getting used to this fragrance, the type of fragrance it's going to be, and they've just affirmed it. Really animalic. Musk is very strong but pleasant. The animalic notes ruin it for me. It feels very rich and decadent with no refresh. And yeah, this is why I was saying this isn't a casual wear. It really isn't. It is a boss fragrance, this. It is. And I can hear some people aren't picking up the animalic. To me, this is screeching animalism. it's like I don't know what it is, because I can't quite put my finger on it. It's something that's there, but it's not even identifiable. Anyone selling this? No. This is interesting. Like, smells similar to Luna Rosa Black. Nah. My thoughts with this, earlier it popped into my head, Luna Rosa Black Prada, and the reason being is the powderiness. It's almost like the only other powderiness fragrance similar I've smelt was Luna Rosa Black, and it may be Tonka bean that adds that. It may be because I believe Rosa Black's Tonka bean heavy, and again, that's what I absolutely love that fragrance. Probably one of my best at the Prada line, the Luna Rosa line. Love this so much. Very comforting scent, very powdery, and lasts a very long time. Sits very close to my skin. I think this is going to last on me. I think easily 6 hours. That. Wow. I found this one very soapy and I didn't detect any distinct animalic notes. Too clean of a leather scent for my taste. Bestly Labo fragrance, and it's not closed. I think that's what put me off this. I think the ones that I've tried, I wasn't impressed by, and I have to be fair to them, it was done on tester strips, and you basically only get the opening with that, and they didn't captivate me. I thought them quite uninteresting. That's what I was anticipating for this, and I really couldn't be more incorrect. It has similarities to Musk Ravager, but this smells more old school. It's warm and powdery. It's alright. Yeah, it does. It does have a vibe, but then saying that, it is nearly 20 odd years, well, over 20 years old. I don't know why, but the middle note smells like Chanel's Comité. To me, perhaps I smelled too much of it. The same baby talcum powder feeling. Great perfume overall. I like the crisp animalic note. Now, I picked up a Chanel vibe here. 100% with the ego east. Maybe a shared note. Unfortunately, on my skin, this smelled like a bundle of hay drying inside a decaying Victorian manor house. I hope others are able to enjoy it more. Yeah, that's quite a vivid description of an aroma. Sweet powdery and slightly irisy for some reason. Doesn't resemble either Musk Ravager or Lilian at all to me. A very subtle sheer but very sweet scent. I only give it 3 out of 10. Obsessed with how it smells, but my friend and mum said I smell like baby powder. Maybe I like that. Taking you back to your infancy. Not a fan. Opens camphorous on my skin. it dries down to smell like diaper ash cream. Very powdery. Reminds me of Grand Swan, the deep dry down, probably due to the Labdanum and vanilla combo. Not as sweet off top, but fairly pleasant. Getting to love this scent more and more. I love this smell on my skin, and somehow it stays for 2 days. Wow. Okay, I'm going to end it. I'm not going to go on too long with this one. Right, let's get 1 or 2 more. What goodie. Funnily how AI above puts can evoke nostalgic feelings of old-fashioned perfumes as a con. Like, come on, how is that a bad thing? Vintage-ish, vintagey, vintage-esque, but not nearly as much so to make it inappropriate for modern day, dare I say, mainstream customer. I've got no issue with vintage fragrance, to be honest. I think they deserve the recognition they are in a class of their own. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes a lot of the modern iterations, man, are just so meh and overdone and overhyped that going back old school, great. This is my alternative to Chanel number 5. So yeah, a lot of women picking up on this. It surprises me. Well, does it? It does come out like quite masculine, that's all. Do you know, looking at this, I don't think I've read a fragrance on here that has had more references to baby powder. I know every fragrance on Fragrantica, there's always one reference, though there is tens and tens of references here to baby powder. Do you know what? I won't mind smelling some baby powder. I don't even know what it smells like, just to see if any of the fragrances they say do actually do that. So yeah, get this if you love the smell of Johnson & Johnson baby powder. Baby powder, baby powder, baby powder. 3 in a row, 4 in a row. It's like number 1. Loads of people are loving it and saying it smells like baby powder. I imagine then they put something in baby powder to have it smell in a certain way then. A lot of people talking about the performance on this as well, and I can't read. It is written on there, the batch number, but it's so tiny, I'll have to get a magnifying glass out. Yeah, so whether or not it's gone through reformulations. Alright, just to read one more. I went to the Labo store in Berlin and asked the staff which of your fragrances are in the direction of talcum, cotton, musk, etc. He said, try this one. I said, wow, this is beautiful. It is wonderful, classy, fresh and low-key. A smell that will probably not blow your mind, but somehow you want to keep smelling it, if that makes sense. And that makes perfect sense. And it's probably back to that being it's an enigma, because there's a lot to try and make one's mind up with this. It just keeps one working in so many different directions as to what this is. Do I like it? Don't I like it? What am I smelling? What aren't I smelling? Some people picking up things, other things, and others not. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. And then there's a stapleness to this. It was referred to as a linear. Now, there is a linear aspect to this, but it's got dimensions, it's got facets. Even then, I'm moving and trying to inhale in different angles, which I usually do. And it's odd. It's like you smell different faces of this. Yet there's a constant backbone throughout it. Yeah, very impressed. Very impressed with that one. I think I probably have to look a bit more into this house. New York, so American grass. Oh, Labo grass and New York, so France and America. I don't know anything about these, so why it says that, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's Labdanum 18 from the house of Labo. Hope you got something out of that. And if you've had any experience with this or other Labos, please by all means share your experiences in the comments if you wish. I'm not sure how many of these I'd be able to put in the collection, because I don't know if they do 100ml bottles. Let's have a quick check. Yeah, they do 500ml bottles. This for 500ml of Labdanum 18, which is in a big, like, scientific beacon flagon, is €1,045 for 500ml. So yeah, it comes with a price tag, and yeah, 100ml to 298, which is probably better value than buying that at 50ml. Yeah, I'd have to look into these and shop around, probably see if there's anything on discounters, because it's quite a high-end retail price, that is, and for something that of a house that I'm not too familiar with, probably not blind buy worthy. Even though this was bought as a blind buy, only due to the price, I probably wouldn't have bought this as a blind buy if it was at the retail or around that retail mark. It was only through winning a bidding war of what I was willing to pay. I wasn't going to pay more than 50, and it ended up at 49, so fair enough. It's worth every penny of that 49. Great one to the collection. What more can I say on Labdanum 18? Well, yeah, as I say, I hope you got something out of that, and I wish you all the best, and please continue creating value in your lives and environment. Bye for now.